Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Conejo Oaks Baseball. I'm Josh Mechanick alongside Max Schwartzberg as the Oaks open up their CCL campaign, heading down south to take on the Riptide of Orange County. The Oaks opened up play this summer in a non-league game with the Coastal Dodgers yesterday, winning 9-2, and they'll look to keep it up against the Riptide, who are gearing up for their first game of the summer. What can we expect to look for in this one, Max?
Well, as we mentioned yesterday, we're kind of trying to see the emergence of a starting lineup. While it is only game 2, we do have 4 new faces, at least starters in this game. Jordan Kang, Tommy Kendlinger, and more. Those guys had great games yesterday. Jordan Kang had a huge RBI double. Kendlinger had a couple hits of his own. There's also Brandon Anderson in the 4 spot today. While it is just game 2, we're seeing an emergence of an actual consistent squad, and the Oaks look to get a great start to CCL play.
Well, it should be a good one. These two teams definitely played some tight contests last year, and the Oaks will look to come out on top in this one. They'll be facing Andrew Parker, a right-handed pitcher from Cal State Northridge. He was a freshman this past spring and still was able to manage to get himself a few innings out there on the mound. In 3 appearances, he threw 3 2/3 innings and given up just 1 run, striking out a couple batters. And he'll look to quiet this Oaks lineup, who has Austin Carrillo leading things off. Carrillo is followed by Tommy Kendlinger, who's playing right field. Will Joseph in left field batting third. Brandon Anderson gets his first start of the summer playing third base after coming in as a pinch hitter yesterday. Landon West is back behind the plate batting fifth. Jordan Kang gets his first start of the summer after a pinch hit double yesterday. He's playing shortstop. Tanner Beltowski is the 7-hitter playing first for the second consecutive day. Jaden Mingus is at second. And rounding out the lineup is Tai Walton. Today he'll be doing the designated hitting after starting in left field yesterday. We're just about set to get ready to go for this one here in Orange County. It's a beautiful day out here. Not too much wind. Pretty big ballpark, at least that plays pretty big here in Orange County. It was actually the home to the USC Trojans this spring, as down in SC they had some renovations to their ballpark and they were forced to ship it all the way out to Irvine for their games. Parker's on the mound ready to go, looking set to deliver the first pitch to Austin Carrillo. And it misses inside for ball 1. Carrillo's in his 3rd summer with the Oaks and coming off his 2nd year at Biola University, where he set multiple single-season Biola records, hitting over 360 with an on-base percentage over 500. That one misses inside, 2-0 to Carrillo.
Carrillo no hits yesterday, but he was just great getting on base every single time he was up. That's just exactly what you want from a leadoff guy.
We'll see if Carrillo mans that leadoff spot for a majority of this summer. It would not surprise me if he did. And Max, you've gotten to know Carrillo pretty well the last couple of days, having roomed with him. What have you learned?
Yeah, I've just learned he's got a great approach at the plate. Baseball's such a mental game, and it's just huge for any guy to be able to get anything going, especially the leadoff spot as he takes a hit by pitch. But the main thing that we talked about is just his mindset and trying to stay positive even when things aren't going too well.
Yeah, that was something I actually talked about with Austin as well today. It's a big thing for him. Doesn't want to let a couple good games in a row shift his mindset, or same thing with a couple bad games. As he starts things off with a hit by pitch after seeing 3 straight balls before that. And that brings up Tommy Kendlinger, getting his first start of the summer today in right field. Came in late yesterday. And that one's in there for a strike on Kendlinger. This past spring, Kendlinger was playing at Hancock College, but he'll be transferring to Biola in the fall. He told me today that he's looking to follow in the footsteps of Carrillo. That one's fouled away. 0-2 now to Kendlinger. Carrillo's manned center field for Biola for the past couple of years. And because he will not be going back there in the fall, Kendlinger's hoping he can take over that center field role. It was a solid year for Kendlinger at the plate, playing and starting in 40 games. Hit over 300 with an OPS over 800 as well. 3 home runs on the year. For a Hancock team that lost their 2 playoff games and flundered out early. Kendlinger goes down on strikes, and it's the first strikeout of the summer for Andrew Parker, who struck out 2 batters in 3 2/3 innings this spring at CSUN. And that brings up the 3-hitter and left fielder today, Will Joseph. Yesterday, Joseph started at first base, but then switched over to left field in the middle innings and finished the game out there. Coach Solis likes to have those versatile players that can play multiple positions.
Definitely a lot of talent this year for the Oaks, especially after talking to Charlie Decker, a new Oak, yesterday's player of the game with those 4 strikeouts. He said that they're going to be a competitive team, and I think we're seeing that already with the huge 9-2 win yesterday, and hopefully they can always get going today.
That one's in on the hands of Joseph, but he's able to loop it up into center field. Carrillo stumbles a little bit around the bag, so he stays put at second, but it's a 1-out single for Will Joseph.
Just a great read by Carrillo. Wasn't sure that was going to drop it halfway between the bag. Able to make sure that if it did drop, he can get the second safely, and if it was caught, he'd retreat back. But the Oaks got something cooking here in the top of the first.
Joseph finds himself in the heart of the order for the second straight day, and once again he's coming through with a 1-out single, and that brings up Brandon Anderson with a chance to drive in the first run of today's ball game, having Carrillo at second. That breaking ball's in there for a strike to Anderson. Anderson coming off his junior year at the University of Louisville. Undecided where he's going to be playing next season, but a very solid spring for him, hitting .278 at a very powerhouse Louisville program. 2-1 is in there for a called strike. Two and one now to Anderson. And that one's hit just short. Tailor-made double play ball, 6-4-3. Perfectly done by the Riptide middle infield. A tailor-made double play. And the Oaks strand a couple of base runners as Andrew Parker is able to get a big double play to get out of the top of the first inning scoreless. As we head to the bottom of the first, Ryan Humphreys on the mound for the Oaks. We're back for the bottom of the first inning. Ryan Humphreys is making his Oaks debut. Humphreys is coming off his junior year at Westmont College, and very solid season for him. 3.2 ERA and 59 innings pitched, and really struck out quite a few batters, 87 punch-outs in just 59 innings. A 1.29 whip. So a very solid season for Humphreys, starting 12 games this year, and he'll look to continue that this summer. getting the starting nod for the Oaks' first league game.
He's a fireballer. I was talking to Austin Carrillo, who had some live at-bats on him. He was touching 90, 93, and he's really able to locate that baseball, like you mentioned, with that whip. So that's a huge asset for the Oaks, especially coming from the left side.
Humphreys is set, ready to go to face off this Riptide lineup that has a lot of new faces. Throws ball one to Matthew Thomas, the leadoff hitter and center fielder. He's going to be followed by Nathan Cadena. Ace Reese batting third. Ryan Kim will be the designated hitter hitting cleanup. Rocco Gump bats fifth. Matthew Flaherty's the sixth hitter at short, with Jake Brown, Brendan Williamson, and Jackson Kemmer rounding out the lineup for the Riptide. Humphreys misses up and away with consecutive pitches, and he falls behind 2-0 against Thomas. It's the same miss once again, 3-0.
Got to make an adjustment here. Same spot, perhaps coming open too fast when he's trying to deliver.
The Riptide faithful is trying to get into this game with the super fan, of course, leading the charge, as it's a 4-pitch walk to Matthew Thomas to begin the summer for Ryan Humphreys. 37 walks for Humphreys in his 59 innings. Didn't allow too many base runners, and right now he'll look to erase the leadoff base runner with the double play. Brings up Nathan Cadena, one of just 2 returning players for the Riptide. Cadena plays his college ball up at San Jose State as he takes a strike from Humphreys.
Great to see him jump ahead right there.
That's exactly what the Oaks are looking for. First pitch strikes. Don't want to fall behind in counts. Got a Little League team really trying to get into this game behind home plate. Trying to distract Humphreys, who stays locked in and gets a ground ball to Kang. It'll be tough to turn 2. He steps on the bag and throws across, but it gets by the first baseman, Beltowski, and it'll be a fielder's choice. Good footwork at shortstop there by Jordan Kang on a pretty softly hit ball. He steps on the bag and makes a pretty solid throw over to first, but Beltowski just wasn't able to hang on.
Looks like Kane had a little bit of trouble getting to the bag. He almost overstepped it, so he had to cost a little bit of time and draw back, replace that foot there, and that might have rushed that throw, which caused it to get away. But no harm, no foul, getting the lead runner.
And that brings up Ace Reese, the first baseman for the Riptide, out of the University of Houston. Takes a breaking ball from Humphreys that just misses for a ball. Humphreys did a good job of getting ahead of Cadena, which led to the ground ball. Falls behind Reese here, so he'll look to come back with a strike. And that one's in there on the corner. We should also mention that where we're standing up here, Max and I don't have the greatest angle, as you can tell by the camera. So judging balls and strikes and locations of pitches could be tough from up here. Humphreys 1-1 is swung on and missed. Reese took a big hack on that one, but came up empty.
Looked like he was just really tardy on it. We mentioned the velocity was a big part of his game. Now the question is, do you want to double up on that? That would be another one, or do you want to go soft stuff away with the lefty-lefty matchup? We'll see right here.
Humphreys 1-2. It's a fastball that just misses on the outer half. They did try to double up on that heater, and it just missed. Good location, though, for a 1-2 pitch. Don't want to give him anything too good to hit. 2-2 the count now to Reese. And that breaking ball misses upstairs. Count runs full 3-2. We'll see if the Riptide have Cadena running. Still the first inning. And a lefty Humphreys on the mound.
The Oaks are definitely given the left field lineup to stay in that double play formation.
3-2. It's cut out on missed. First strikeout of the summer for Ryan Humphreys. As Ace Reese goes down on strikes. And that's the second out of this first inning.
Straight challenge pitch right there. He went with the fastball in the zone. You just can't catch up to it.
He's definitely got some pretty decent life on that heater, does Humphreys. As we saw Reese pretty tardy on it a couple times in that plate appearance. Brings up the designated hitter today, Ryan Kim, out of Cal Baptist University. And he takes a strike at the knees.
When talking with Carrillo and those live at-bats he had against Humphreys, he really mentioned the move on that fastball, especially with the left-on-left matchup that we just saw with Reese kind of going inside to the hands. Definitely hard for the hitter to adjust to.
Humphreys 0-1 is a breaking ball that he can't get on top of. That's a few times today already that we've seen Humphreys with the same miss going with that breaking ball. Humphreys looking to match Parker with a scoreless first inning. Runner on first, 2 outs for the Riptide. Pop up on the right side. Going back is Beltowski. He drops it. The Riptide get a second life this inning as Tanner Beltowski drops a pop-up at first base.
Really just a nightmare situation. This Riptide team, very talented. You definitely don't want to give them any second chances, as we see right here. Looked like he almost overran that ball, and then he realized, and as he came back, just popped right out of the glove.
And that brings up Rocco Gump with a chance to give the Riptide their first lead of the summer. Runner just 90 feet away, 2 outs. Runners at the corners. That one misses below the zone. Good location there from Humphreys, just doesn't get the call. Tell you what, Rocco Gump is an awesome baseball name. Out of Northwestern State. Long hold from Humphreys here. Fires and misses outside, 2-0. You always feel for the pitcher in these situations, all these extra pitches that he's going to have to throw, even if he does manage to get out of the inning unscathed. Still extra high leverage pitches that Humphreys has to throw. His 2-0 delivery to Gump is chopped up the middle to second base, and stepping on the bag is Jaden Mingus, and Humphreys is able to get out of the jam. 2 men left on base for the Riptide, but nothing across as we head to the second inning, still scoreless. Both pitchers give up a couple of base runners in the first inning, but both able to get out of it without a run coming across. For the Oaks, it was first and second with one out before Brandon Anderson grounded into an inning-ending double play. And as for the Riptide, looked like they popped up with one on first to end the inning, but it was dropped by the first baseman Beltowski. And then Humphreys was able to get a ground out with first and third to end the inning.
And credit Humphreys. You know, that's hard to do, to adjust when it's not your fault. You make the right pitch, and it doesn't always go your way. Sometimes that happens. And he's able to get 4 outs in the inning and continue to execute within the zone.
And the first pitch to Landon West is swung on and hit up the middle. Nice play over there by the shortstop, Matthew Flaherty, who fires across for out number 1. We saw West had a nice day at the plate yesterday while doing the catching for the majority of yesterday's ball game before sliding on over to first base for the last few innings. Brings up Jordan Kang, shortstop out of Harvard. Kang was on the bench to start yesterday's game, but came in and hit a pinch hit double into the right center field gap, scoring a couple of runs. We also saw him make a couple of nice defensive plays at shortstop as well. Earned himself a start in first game of the CCL.
Big gap down the left field line. Let's see if Kang can get out ahead of one and get some extra bases going.
And he lines one to second base right at Nathan Cadena, who makes the catch for out number 2. Very unfortunate one for Kang there. He does a good job of going with the pitch, and just right at Cadena at second.
That's a hang with him. Nothing you can do there. Great swing the other way in a barrel. But sometimes it doesn't always find grass.
2 quick outs on this one to bring up Tanner Beltowski, the first baseman who would love to make up for his error. This is his second consecutive day starting at first. He takes fastball just down below the knees. 2-0. That one's driven out to left field. Kemmerer going back, and it's over his head and off the wall. Beltowski cruises into second base. Kemmerer stumbles just a little bit in left field, but Beltowski stays put, and it's a 2-out double for Tanner Beltowski.
Kind of a misplay there in left field, but it definitely wouldn't have mattered. Well over his head. Great way to get extended there, staying on that breaking ball down.
And for Beltowski, that's got to feel good after the error in the past half inning. Driving that one to left field and putting himself in scoring position with two-way for Jaden Mingus, who's getting his first start. Mingus, another guy from Westmont College. And he takes a strike, 0-2. Nice job so far this plate appearance by Andrew Parker after the double, not letting it shake him. Back-to-back strikes to get Mingus in an 0-2 hole. That breaking ball smothered behind the plate by Williamson, able to keep Beltowski put at second.
Still pretty heavy on the fastballs to the bottom of the lineup. Obviously an 0-2 waste pitch, but maybe perhaps sitting on a fastball here after that slider.
And it is a fastball, and Mingus fouls it back. He's able to keep his at-bat alive.
It's another thing talking to these players before the game. I was talking to Austin again, and he said that the main thing you want to do, especially when any guys have some sort of velocity, you got to be ready for the fastball. Because if you're sitting off speed and they go fastball, you're not going to be able to react. But at least the other way around, you could still make that adjustment.
And there was a breaking ball that was left up. Mingus fouls it back over our heads. He's looking to give the Oaks the early lead here in this one. Beltowski out there on second. Riptide outfield is pretty deep, so a single will most likely score him. 1-2's taken down, 2-2. Mingus working a decent plate appearance so far. Fell behind 0-2, fouled off a couple pitches. He's got it even at 2-2. That one misses way outside. Count runs full.
Both off-speed pitches this at bat have not really been close. You got to think that he's going to have to challenge him with the fastball. You definitely don't want to walk the number 8 man, but you risk another walk with that slider or a mislocation.
Parker's 3-2. Catches the corner for a called strike 3. Mingus doesn't like it, but the home plate umpire rings him up. And after the 2-out double, no harm, no foul for Andrew Parker, who's able to get out of another scoreless inning as we head to the bottom of the second, still 0-0. Bottom of the second inning here. Ryan Humphreys back out there. Pitched a scoreless first inning, was able to work out of a first and third 2-out jam. He'll be facing the shortstop Matthew Flaherty to begin this second inning. Flaherty takes a ball up.
Kind of a surprise to see how lefty heavy this Riptide lineup is against the lefty Humphreys.
Yeah, oftentimes versus the left-handed pitcher, we'll see maybe 7 or 8 right-handed bats in the lineup, but not the case for the Riptide. As that one's pulled foul down the right field line, 1-1. Flaherty out of the University of Utah, but he is from down here in Southern California. Humphreys needed 18 pitches to get out of that first inning. His 1-1 pitch to Flaherty. Catches the outside corner, 1-2. It's exactly where they're looking for Humphreys to live with his fastball. The outer half of the plate, especially versus a left-handed hitter.
3 fastballs to begin this at bat. Interesting.
1-2 is a breaking ball, and it absolutely freezes Flaherty, who watches it fall in for strike 3.
Just buckled. Great job by starting it kind of on the inside part of the plate to the lefty. It looks like it might stay in or even hit him, and it drops right down in the zone for strike 3. Front door magic from the lefty-lefty matchup.
And that's the second strikeout of this one for Humphreys. And he'll face the right fielder, Jake Brown. Brown takes the ball outside. Another guy for the Riptide from Cal Baptist University is Jake Brown. Humphreys 1-0 delivery. It's fouled back, 1-1.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see an off-speed pitch here. We had a great visualization of that first pitch and then right on the fastball.
Humphreys coming into this summer looking to build off his very solid spring. There is a breaking ball that just slips out of his hand. For Humphreys, he started in 12 of the 13 games he appeared in, and that one that he didn't start, he actually came out of the bullpen and picked up a save for Westmont. He falls behind 3-1 to Jake Brown here. The catcher, Brendan Williamson, waits on deck. Humphreys walked the leadoff man in the first, was able to strike out Flaherty to be in the second, but he's behind 3-1 to Brown, and he gets a swing and miss. Count is now full, 3-2. We'll see if Humphreys challenges him again with the heater. He's set and ready for his 3-2 pitch. And it misses in the dirt. Brown takes a walk. The second one surrendered today by Humphreys. And that'll bring up Brendan Williamson.
Well, he didn't have a great feel for the breaking ball in that at bat, but the fastball at the end, trying to challenge him, but just missed down low. Gonna have to make an adjustment to get that higher in the zone.
Williamson, another guy from Cal State Northridge, and he's very familiar with his pitcher, Andrew Parker. Both of them playing for CSUN, and both of them here with the Riptide this summer. And that one's in there for a strike to Wilkinson.
Be huge for the Oaks to turn their first double play today. Just came up short in that first inning after that ball got away from the first baseman, Beltowski.
It's a broken bat, hit over to third base, to second for one, on to first, double play. Already the second one we've seen turn today. And we're through another scoreless inning. We head to the third, 0-0. Back now for the top of the third inning. Tai Walton to lead things off for the Oaks in a 0-0 ball game. Both pitchers at 29 pitches through 2 scoreless innings in this one. 2 hits for the Oaks. No hits for the Riptide. They've reached on a couple of walks and an error. The Oaks have a single from Will Joseph and a double from Tanner Beltowski. The 9-hitter Tai Walton leads things off. Gets ahead of the count 1-0. Yesterday, Walton got the start out in left field. Today, he's back in the lineup, but as the DH in this one. He's ahead of the count 2-0. The Oaks wearing some baby blue uniforms, which we didn't get to see last year, as Walton pops this one up a mile high on the infield, right at the shortstop Flaherty, who makes the catch for out number 1. Walton looked to drive that one on a 2-0 pitch, but got underneath it and just hit it straight up.
Got to be frustrating. I'm sure you imagined that there was going to be a fastball there. 2-0 to the 9-hitter. Was the fastball challenge, but you just got under it.
And that brings up the top of the lineup, and Austin Carrillo, who takes the ball up. Carrillo was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. A guy who's known to reach base via the HBP quite often, 19 times this spring at Viola. He's always up there in the Oaks team leaderboard as far as HBP goes. So that one catches the corner. Carrillo shakes his head a bit. Doesn't love the call. 1-2 now the count to Austin.
You can see him choking him on the bat, trying to get a shorter swing to the ball to make contact at any cost.
And he's able to spoil that one, foul it off towards the Oaks dugout. Looked like a fastball in on his hands that Carrillo was able to get around. It's not a big strikeout guy, is Austin Carrillo. 28 walks to 24 strikeouts this year at Biola. Once he gets into that 2-strike approach, it's very difficult to strike out. As Max mentioned, very choked up on the bat. Trying to put bat on ball any way he can. He grounds that one to the right side over to the first baseman, Reese, who flips it to Parker for out number 2. Parker's really settled into this one after allowing 2 of his first 3 hitters to reach. He's now retired 5 of his last 6. And that one's in there for a strike. To the right fielder, Tommy Kendlinger, who went down on 3 pitches back in the first. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Parker in this one. And he's behind in the count 0-2 once again.
Well, it's clear that Parker's settled in more. He's really getting ahead of the hitters in each count, really attacking the zone, and it's showing with these quick retirements.
Looking for a 1-2-3 inning, and that's lined up the middle. Tommy Kendlinger with a 2-out single to keep the inning alive for Will Joseph. Joseph check swings that one foul. Joseph drives this one down the right field line. And it's over to the head of the right fielder and off the wall. Rounding third and getting the wave is Kendlinger. The throw to the plate is not in time. A 2-out RBI double for Will Joseph. Give the Oaks a 1-0 lead.
Just huge for the Oaks, extending the inning with that single and then driving one over the head for an RBI double. That's exactly what you want to see tonight for these Oaks, especially when the pitcher Parker has been rolling. 5 of the last 6 retired before that 2-out knock. And just any opportunity, the Oaks are taking advantage of it with the early lead.
Great piece of hitting from Kendlinger and Joseph to give the Oaks a 1-0 lead and give Brandon Anderson a chance to double the lead. Anderson was up there with first and second and one away back in the first before grounding into an inning-ending double play. He'll look to drive in Joseph now, who's out there on second once again.
Anderson grounded out straight to shortstop last time, with the shortstop shaded over to cover Joseph in case of a pickoff play, so kind of a gap through that 5-5 hole.
He hits that one foul, out of play. 1-2. Anderson drove in 23 this spring at Louisville.
Well, they're currently in the portal, as he told us a few days ago.
This will be a big summer for Anderson as far as his development goes, and potentially to determine where he'll be playing in the fall. We've seen summer ball definitely boost some player. The 1-2, it's fouled away. Anderson, nice job spoiling that one.
What I'm really loving is the two-strike approach from the Oaks. Even though Carrillo didn't get on, you saw him choke up and really shorten up. They're not trying to be the hero with the big home run, but just trying to pass it to the next guy. That's what we saw with Kendlinger and then the big hit from Joseph.
Anderson trying to deliver a big hit of his own, with Joseph out there on second and 2 away. Takes down 2-2.
And what's great about working these at-bats is they're seeing a lot of pitches, getting good feel for what this pitcher Parker is really supporting with his repertoire.
Yeah, they've certainly made Parker work this inning after getting 2 quick outs, as Anderson's able to lay off the breaking ball to work the count full. Catcher Landon West waits on deck. Parker getting ready to deliver his payoff pitch. Takes a look, comes home. It's fouled away. No action yet for the Riptide, but there is someone in the bullpen who has begun stretching. We're definitely keeping an eye on Andrew Parker here. Another 3-2 pitch from Parker is in on the hands of Anderson. Chops softly to second base. Covering the bag is Parker. The rare 4-1 put out gets the Riptide out of the inning, but not before Will Joseph delivers with a 2-out RBI knock, giving the Oaks a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the third inning with Ryan Humphreys heading back out on the mound. It took Andrew Parker 19 pitches to get out of the top of the third inning, where the Oaks were able to scratch across their first run of today's ballgame. We're in the bottom of the third now with Jackson Kemmer to lead things off for the Riptide. Kemmer out of the University of Nevada, Reno. He redshirted this year. Didn't get any playing time. But Kemmer is going to be a really good player in the future. The coaches over there at Nevada see a lot of potential in this kid. He improved a lot from the fall to the spring. Humphreys 1-0 pitch. It's cut on a missed. 1-1 now to Jackson. Humphreys is through 2 scoreless innings up to this point. No hits allowed, but he has walked a couple of batters. Kemmer swings and misses at the 1-1. 1-2 now the count. Humphreys got an inning-ending double play to end the second after a 1-out walk. Look to pick up a strikeout of Kemmer here to begin the third. 1-2. It's fouled back.
Big gap through the right side. The second baseman kind of just shaded over behind the bat, perhaps planning on Kemmer to pull the ball.
Talking to Jackson before the game, he did say that he's been struggling a little bit with fastballs lately, but breaking balls what he's been looking for. A 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball. Called strike 3. West unable to handle it, but he throws over to first in time to get the speedy Kemmer. It's the first out of this third inning, the third strikeout of the ball game for Humphreys. Freezes Kemmer with that backdoor breaking ball. That brings up the top of the lineup in Matthew Thomas. He walked on 4 pitches to begin this one. Takes that one upstairs.
Looks like he just overthrew that one, trying to get a little more velocity on the fastball.
Thomas is coming off his freshman year at UC Berkeley, a team that felt they were snubbed from the NCAA tournament. That one's in there for a strike to Thomas. Very limited playing time for Thomas. He struggled offensively, hitting just 140, but playing 24 games as a freshman is always impressive. No errors either as a defensive replacement. And he swings through that fastball. 1-2 the count. Humphreys looking for back-to-back strikeouts to begin this third inning. Has Thomas in a 1-2 hole. Delivers. And he gets a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin this inning for Ryan Humphreys.
There's that fastball, just lively and too much for Matthew to handle.
Yeah, that one is up and out of the zone. But it looked too good to let go for Thomas, who chases it for strike 3. Brings up Nathan Cadena. Humphreys looks for his first 1-2-3 inning. He did face the minimum last inning with that double play that he induced. It's always important for a pitcher to put up a 0 in the same inning that his offense gets him a run.
Just a great way to maintain the momentum.
Swung on and missed, 0-2. Humphreys with a chance to strike out the side here. Getting ahead of Kadena, 0-2. After striking out Kemmer and Thomas. He's got his sign for the 0-2 pitch. And it's another strikeout. Ryan Humphreys strikes out the side in order in this third inning. And the Oaks lead 1-0 as we head to the middle third of this one. Top of the fourth inning now. It's still Andrew Parker out there for the Riptide, but they do have someone warming up in their bullpen. So you have to wonder how much longer Parker will be out there for. As the first pitch to Landon West is driven out to center field. Drifting back and making the catch in front of the warning track is the center fielder Thomas for out number 1. There is action in the Oaks bullpen as well. So Ryan Humphreys' day could be done after 3 scoreless innings. Can't ask for much more from him. As it looks like Cole Fisher, the returner Oak, is warming up. It's the first pitch to Jordan Kang is in there for a called strike. Kang was really unlucky in his first at-bat, lining out right at the second baseman, Kadena, and he falls behind the count 0-2. It's a great frame back there by the catcher, Wilkinson, to help his pitcher out.
Just got to protect like the Oaks have been doing all night.
Easy take on a breaking ball. 1-2. Does look like it's Colton Dahl in the bullpen for the Riptide right now. Parker's 1-2 misses well outside, 2-2. Taking a long time to get a sign, finally coming home is Parker. It's a good spoil there by King on a fastball. Outside, maybe a tad off the plate, but King taking no chances, just fouls it away.
While the Oaks have just 1 run, still a great game by Parker so far, but it just does not seem like it. The Oaks are really making him work, making him throw a lot of pitches, and it's really frustrating if you're a pitcher.
As that breaking ball just misses away. Great take there by King, who's able to work the count full. 48 pitches through 3 innings for Parker, who loses King, and he's able to draw a 1-out walk. Really good plate appearance there by Jordan King. Fell behind in the count and was able to foul off a couple pitches, take some close ones, and eventually work a walk.
Now that bullpen session for the Riptide starting to gain more steam.
So there's another breaking ball in the dirt. Nice job back there again from Wilkinson. It's Tanner Beltowski at the plate. Beltowski roped a double to left in his first at bat. Was stranded on second as the catcher Wilkinson heads out to the mound to calm his pitcher down a little bit and maybe give that reliever some more time in the bullpen. Parker nearing 60 pitches. Pitching in his first live game action, you have to imagine, in quite some time, with the collegiate season ending a few weeks ago. CSUN, unfortunately, did not have the pleasure of making it to any playoff play. Really good season, though, for the Matadors. This one's fouled back, coming right towards us, hitting the net. 2-1 the count.
I was ready to make the catch if there was not a net.
Yeah, that was right at us.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, we've just been waiting the past couple summers for a foul ball to just land right here.
Yeah, I mean, right above us, there's these graded kind of ceiling. It's definitely wide enough for a ball to come through, but it'd have to be a 1 in a million for sure.
Beltowski swings through that one. Back pick over to first, but getting back in time is King. Good idea there from Wilkinson. Cole Fisher looks like he's done and ready to go down in the Oaks bullpen. The 2-2 coming home. Beltowski swings through it. That's the third strikeout of the day for Parker. The second out of the inning. And it brings up Jaden Mingus.
The soft stuff away, one with the breaking ball, just way out ahead of it.
Mingus worked a really good AB last time up before eventually going down on strikes. So there's another borderline pitch called a strike to Mingus.
It looks like Parker's starting to get a really good feel for that, hammering that part of the zone.
Once again, the exact same spot. Well, we can't tell from our vantage point if that's a ball or two off the plate or if it's just catching the zone. But either way, the Oaks are having trouble in that location. So Parker's just going to keep hammering that spot. His 0-2 delivery is in the exact same location for the third consecutive pitch. And Mingus goes down on strikes for the second time today. Andrew Parker with a great appearance in his first start of the summer. His day is probably done. 4 innings, 1-run ball. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, it is indeed Cole Fisher heading out to make his summer debut for the Oaks.
That last one was definitely off the plate. Like, I could tell from here. I don't know about the one before, but that last one definitely looked off.
The last one just looked a little more out than the other ones. I agree.
All right, so how do I unlock it to change like the pitcher name?
Just click on it. You don't have to click down.
Oh, okay. Just click on it and then go up here.
Fish? Good year, brother.
What's up?
I was just talking. It's good year for Fish. Oh, whip is insane.
What was it?
Dude, he's 2.19 ERA with a 2.03 whip.
Wow. So he's. Wait, how many innings? 12. How many hits though? Yeah.
He has 12 walks.
So he's like Blake Snell basically.
Yeah. Only 3 runs somehow.
That's crazy.
Now batting.
I'll bring
Number 1, the first baseman.
Back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Cole Fisher out there. It's his first appearance of the summer for the Oaks, but he was a member of the Oaks last year. And his first pitch is an off-speed pitch off the plate. For Fisher this year, it's some really interesting stats for Fish. Just a 2.19 ERA, which is phenomenal, of course, but a whip of 2.03 with 12 walks and 13 hits allowed in just 12 1/3 innings, but only 3 earned runs as well. So Fish pitched into a lot of jams, but was able to get himself out of most of them. Finishing up his sophomore year at Millersville University. There's a breaking ball just below the zone that misses. 2-1 to the first baseman, Ace Reese. It's another breaking ball that misses away. 3-1.
Not getting that call in the outside corner.
Reese swings through that one. Count runs full. This past year for Reese at Houston, he was a member of the All Big 12 freshman, which is quite impressive, as the Big 12 is a very powerhouse baseball conference. As that fastball just misses. It did seem like Parker was getting those strike calls, and Cole Fisher does have a bit of a sly smile out there on the mound. He doesn't get the call and walks the first batter he faces this summer. They'll look for a ground ball to erase that with Ryan Kim coming up. That one's in there for a strike. Kim is coming off his junior season at Cal Baptist, where he hit .297. An on-base percentage, .373, and a slug of .600, which was good for an OPS near 1,000. Really solid year offensively for Kim. That one just misses. 2-1 now. Based on his body language, you could tell Fisher isn't very happy with the strikes on so far.
He's definitely pitching down in the zone right here, looking for that double play.
And he throws a breaking ball that Kim swings through. 2-2. In his first at-bat today, Kim popped up to first base. It was dropped by Beltowski. He was able to reach. This time, Kim goes down on strikes as Cole Fisher picks up his first strikeout of this CCL campaign.
Third baseman, number 12, Rocco Gump.
And that brings up Rocco Gump, today's third baseman. Gump out of Northwestern State University. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Gump was named to the Southland Conference All-Defensive Team today. I should say this season. Started 54 to 55 games for Northwestern State. He takes a breaking ball that gets past the catcher West all the way to the backstop, which will allow Reese to advance to second.
Well, we'll see here. He's been pitching in and out of trouble. While it's just one runner, they are in scoring position. Let's see if that success continues into the summer.
An early test for Cole Fisher with the runner on second and 1 out. Middle part of this Riptide lineup with the 5-hitter Gump up there, who takes a breaking ball down below the knees. 2-1 the count to Gump. Coming off a year where he made just 2 errors all season at third base. And that breaking ball's in there for a strike. 2-2. In addition to his defensive contributions, he still hit .285 at the plate, slugging .472 with an on-base over 400. Just an excellent season any way you slice it for Rocco Gump, who walks.
Now batting.
Takes the 3-2 pitch from Fish outside.
Matthew Flaherty. Flaherty.
Puts 2 men on with just 1 away for Matthew Flaherty. Flaherty struck out looking back in the second. Shortstop today out of the University of Utah. Takes a big cut of that one and swings right through it.
Oaks again giving up that third base line to try to stay in double play depth.
That one's in there for a strike. 0-2. Flaherty coming off his sophomore campaign, in which he hit .282 in 40 games for the University of Utah. Started 28 of those. He's behind 0-2 against Fisher, who gets another swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning for Fisher, who's now 1 out away from getting out of the jam.
Number 28, playing right field, Jake Brown.
Now a 2-out RBI situation for Jake Brown. Brown walked in the second, but then was erased on an inning-ending double play ball. He takes a strike on the breaking ball there from Fisher.
Looks like he might have gotten a call off the plate, but the home plate umpire being consistent with that part of the zone. We saw that a lot when the Oaks were up the bat, and now we're seeing it again here with the Riptide at the plate.
Brown this year at Cal Baptist hit just .245, but he slugged over .530 with 15 of his 26 hits being for extra bases, 7 doubles and 8 home runs. He's looking for some 2-out magic right now. This is well outside, 2-1. In those 12 strikeouts this year, there were 18 punch-outs for Fish. He's already got 2 in this 4th inning. Falls behind 3-1.
You could tell he's trying to hit that outside part of the plate, but just missing in those last 2 pitches, maybe overthrowing and kind of yanking that to the left-handed batter's box.
3-1 to Brown. Fisher's got to come back with a strike here. And he does. And the home plate umpire rings up the batter and then corrects himself. 3-2 the count now. Both runners will be on the move. The Oaks infielders going to stay home in their respective positions. Fish ready for the 3-2. It's a breaking ball that's fouled back.
Again, staying away there from the batter, Brown.
He's not afraid to throw that off-speed pitch, even in a 3-2 count. Another 3-2 coming from Fisher. Another breaking ball and a called third strike. Cole Fisher strikes out the side here in the fourth. A couple of walks mixed in, but he's able to get out of it scoreless as we head to the fifth with the Oaks still leading 1-0. Top of the fifth inning brings on a new pitcher for the Riptide. It's right-hander Colton Dahl from Santa Barbara Community College. Dahl this year pitched in 14 games and started 13 of them. Went 5-3 with a 3.72 ERA and 72 2/3 innings, striking out 69 batters in those innings. Andrew Parker's day is done after 4 innings of 1-run ball, 4 hits, 1 walk, 1 hit batsman, and 4 strikeouts. It'll be Tai Walton to lead things off for the Oaks. They'll go 9-1-2 here in this fifth inning. Walton looking to turn things around this summer after a tough spring for him at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Just 70 at-bats. He'll look to take advantage of his opportunities this summer. That one misses away. Walton certainly has the build and the potential to really be a star in this game. Just has to put it together. He takes a strike 1-1.
For a lot of guys, it's the mental side of the game. You know, a lot of people say the game is 90% mental, 10% physical, and as somebody who's played myself, I think that statement could hold true. Definitely, if you're not in the right mindset, it can really affect your physical ability.
That one's in there for a strike to Walton. Yeah, of course, the late great Yogi Berra said that, and it still holds true today. This game is so incredibly difficult to stay in the right mindset as Walton goes down on strikes. It's a great start to the summer for Colton Dahl, who strikes out the first batter that he faces. And that brings up Austin Carrillo, the Oaks leadoff hitter for the first 2 games of the season so far. Was hit by a pitch back in the first and grounded out in the third. Gets out of the way of that fastball.
Seems like he's been on all the time, but he's still looking for his first summer ball hit of this summer. Obviously his 3rd season back with the Oaks.
He's reached base via the walk, hit by pitch, even a catcher's interference yesterday. Just hadn't gotten his knock yet, but it'll come. And the Oaks have only played 14 innings of baseball up to this point. So Carrillo grounds that one over to the right side to Cadena, who sets his feet and throws out Austin for out number 2.
Now batting number 20, Tommy Kendlinger.
Which brings up Tommy Kendlinger, who did a great job of helping the Oaks get their first run back in the 3rd. 2 out, nobody on. And after falling behind 0-2, Kendlinger laced a single back up the middle before eventually coming around to score all the way from first on a Will Joseph double. So that one catches the bottom of the zone. We've definitely seen a wider strike zone tonight.
But with consistency, especially on the outside edge, I'd say. And if he's going to give it to them, you got to make that adjustment as hitters.
Once you see that same spot called for a strike multiple times, can't continue looking at that pitch.
But the difficulty there is that the tunneling then gets to you because they really spawn that fastball, maybe a ball or two off the plate, getting the call, and they go to that nice slider that starts right there, way off the zone. It's definitely hard for the hitter to adjust and really see that well.
That's why baseball is such a difficult game. Why the best hitters, Hall of Famers, only succeed 30% of the time. As that fastball just misses upstairs, the catcher Wilkinson got up ready to head back to the dugout expecting a strike 3 call. But he doesn't get the call. It's 2-2 on Kendlinger. So that one misses away, 3-2.
A lot of 3-ball counts to the Oaks tonight. As we mentioned, they've just been really doing a great job seeing a lot of pitches, working the count. And what that really does in the favor of the hitters, guys are able to pass along information to the next guys and really get a good scouting report going into each AB.
The 3-2 pitch from Dahl is fouled away. Back into the parking lot. We'll do the 3-2 again. Kendlinger looking to avoid striking out for the 2nd time today. Dahl's payoff pitch. It's hit right back up the middle and through for a base hit. 2nd time today that Tommy Kendlinger has singled with 2 outs.
Deja vu, that's what the Oaks squad has done today and really in yesterday's game in that 9-2 victory. It doesn't matter how many outs there are. They're still trying to do everything they can to get it to the next guy up, and especially with the huge hitter and Joseph coming up. Definitely in a good position to grab another run for the board.
They're trying to repeat exactly what they did in the 3rd inning. A 2-out single from Kendlinger before a Will Joseph double to score him. Joseph up there now. And he hits that one foul down the right field line. Takes a wicked carom and ends up in the middle of right field. So the pitcher Dahl has to step off for a minute while the ball gets retrieved.
Joseph halfway to the cycle.
Singled back in the 1st, and then the RBI double as we mentioned. There goes the runner, Kendlinger. As Joseph lifts that one out to center field, right to Matthew Thomas, who makes the catch for out number 3. A scoreless inning for Colton Dahl out of relief. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, Oaks still leading 1-0. Back for the bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher for the Oaks after the 1 scoreless inning from Fisher as the first pitch has popped up into shallow center field. Austin Carrillo trots in to make the catch. Help out his new pitcher, Daniel Orozco, who's played his first couple collegiate seasons at Moore Park College and is looking for a new place to play beginning this fall. For Orozco, 59 1/3 innings in 19 appearances with only 4 starts, but they do trust him to throw multiple innings out of relief. 6.52 ERA with 53 strikeouts in 59 innings as Kemmer pops up the first pitch right to the shortstop King. 2 outs on 2 pitches for Orozco to begin this 5th inning.
Just a big discrepancy between the Oaks and the Riptide at bats. Still a very close game, still anybody's game, but the Oaks really working the counts, making it deep into every at bat. The Riptide, these quick first pitch weak contact, it's huge for the pitchers on the Conejo side.
No surprise to see Thomas taking the first pitch after the 2 outs on as many pitches to begin this inning. Thomas has walked and struck out today. He swings at this one, pops it up on the right side, drifting towards the dugout and going out of play. One and one now the count to the Riptide center fielder.
Very big gap out towards left center field.
There's a swing and a miss from Thomas. 1-2.
Interesting. He seems late on that one. Interesting maybe if he goes to the fastball here or doubles up because he definitely was nowhere close to that one, the slider.
1-2 is a breaking ball. 2-2. Yeah, you mentioned, Max, the left fielder Joseph is shaded pretty far over to the left field line with the center fielder Carrillo shaded towards right center. So anything hits a left center and they could be running. But that doesn't matter as Orozco gets a swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 inning to begin his Oaks career, concluding with a strikeout. As we head it to the 6th, Oaks still lead 1-0. We're back for the top of the 6th inning. Another new pitcher for the Riptide. It's Tommy McGuire out of Cypress College. Colton Dahl went 1 inning out of relief through just 14 pitches, 1 hit, no walks, no runs, and a strikeout. He makes way for McGuire, who pitched 19 times this spring for Cypress College in his freshman year. 38 1/3 innings, 3.99 ERA with a 1.23 WHIP, and 45 strikeouts. Very solid debut season for McGuire, who will look to build on it with the Riptide this summer. He'll be facing the heart of the Oaks lineup, Anderson, West, and King, 4, 5, 6 respectively. First pitch to Brandon Anderson. Misses away for a ball.
Definitely going to look for some insurance runs here. Credit the Oaks pitching for really silencing a great team in the Riptide, but with the heart of the lineup, as you mentioned, you definitely want to see some runs come across.
That one misses below the zone to Anderson, 1-1. We mentioned Anderson will be looking for a new school in the fall after playing at the University of Louisville. As he drives that one down the right field line, but it's hooking foul. Anderson barreled that one down the right field line, but he hooked it about 10 to 15 feet foul.
Just turning it on the fastball. Saw it very well.
There's a lengthy discussion right now between pitcher and catcher, and you have to wonder if they're just not on the same page on the first couple of pitches. Wilkinson spending a decent chunk of time out there on the mound, and the home plate umpire starts to head out before the visit finally breaks up. Two and 1 the count to Anderson.
You can see the right fielder Brown kind of shaded over more towards the line after that last swing, kind of reading the hitter and seeing how he saw that ball very well.
Anderson fouls that one, tips it back in the glove. 2 and 2. Nobody warming up for the Oaks in the bullpen, so Daniel Orozco, we presume, will get another inning. This is away, 3-2. No action for either team right now in the bullpen, which have both been pretty active since about the 3rd or 4th inning of this one. Payoff pitch on its way to Brandon Anderson. And it's hit sharply to first base, falling down, but still making the play is Reese, who flips it over to his pitcher for out number 1.
Number 35, Landon West.
Anderson turned on that one and hit it sharply, but it was right to Reese. Hit so hard that it knocked him down, but he was able to stick with it. That'll bring up the catcher, Landon West. 0 for 2 today. Ground out and a fly out. West getting the start in each of the first 2 games for the Oaks this summer. You have to imagine there's a day off coming for him either today or on Saturday. 2 of the 4 Oaks catchers have still yet to come back from their respective schools. West and Will White are the only 2 catchers here active at this point for the Oaks. We saw White appear late in yesterday's game after West move over to first base. We'll see if the same thing happens in this one. 1-1 to West. It's popped up, right side, out of play.
And what's huge for Wes is just being able to get those consistent reps this summer. His first year at Rice did not get a big sample size as a freshman, just a couple at-bats. But here, getting 2 starts early, signs for what's to come. I'm not sure. As you mentioned, not all the catchers are back, but he's put a lot of great at-bats forward so far in the young season.
He goes down on strikes here. The ball does get away a bit from the catcher Wilkinson. Fires a strong throw over to first to get West. 2 quick outs to begin this 6th inning for Tommy McGuire.
Now batting number 18.
And he'll now face the shortstop, Jordan King. King lined out back in the 2nd, but then put together a really nice plate appearance before walking in the 4th. That one's in there for a strike.
Very lively fastball here.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Max. I wish that we had some sort of radar gun because it definitely seems like the ball is coming out more firm from McGuire.
It's interesting. They actually asked us before the games whether we have an analytical person here. Perhaps they're looking for some sort of radar too, but I could definitely, from my IDAR test, assume there's a 90 in there we're seeing, but it does look like there's a little bit of run on that fastball going into the right-handed batter.
And, of course, the CCL uses wooden bats as Jordan King's breaks before I could even finish my thought. And it's popped up in the shallow left. Jackson Kemmer, a nice play on the run. It's a 1-2-3 5th inning for the Oaks, who have been held scoreless in 5 of the 6 innings up to this point. Orozco will head out to pitch the bottom of the 6th and look to put up another 0 for the Oaks, who look to hold on to their 1-0 lead.
Now batting number 14.
Bottom of the 6th inning.
Cadena.
Oaks leading 1-0 in this one. 2-3-4 coming up for the Riptide. Nathan Cadena takes a strike. Cadena reaching a fielder's choice in the 1st before being stranded at 3rd to end that inning. And then he struck out in the 3rd. It's the 2nd inning of work for Daniel Orozco. You got 2 1-pitch outs in the 5th, followed by a strikeout, needing just 7 pitches to get out of that scoreless frame. Two and 1 the count.
And again, we're seeing another big gap between the center fielder Carrillo and the left fielder Joseph.
It's definitely something, must have been something in the scouting report that the Oaks saw.
That's what I was thinking.
That one's upstairs. 3-1 to Cadena.
Because it is changing hitter to hitter. We do see those shifts. So perhaps a little scouting going on behind the scenes for the Oaks.
Kadena takes a walk. It's a big leadoff base runner for the Riptide. Their first leadoff base runner since the first, I beg your pardon, it's their third overall leadoff base runner. They had one in the first, the fourth, and now the sixth. And it'll bring up the first baseman, Ace Reese, who drew one of those leadoff walks back in the fourth. You mentioned Reese was on the all Big 12 freshman team. Excellent year for the University of Houston as he swings through that first pitch breaking ball.
And now we see Joseph shaded more towards that gap. Same with our third baseman, Anderson. So planning for him to pull the ball as that left side is just left pretty much wide open.
If Reese wanted to lay down a bunt, he has all the space in the world, and he actually shows bunt but pulls back.
We'll see if that draws Anderson over a little bit or just makes him creep in a little bit more prior to the pitch. But I can't imagine the three-hitter for the Riptide, unless it's just given to him. He's probably going to be one of swinging, trying to make this game even or take the lead.
Yeah, Anderson crept up a little bit over there at third base. Anderson still showing bunt, gets it down to the pitcher, Orozco, who sets his feet, throws Reese out. But he does his job, sacrificing himself and getting Kadena over to second.
For your Riptide, the designated hitter, Ryan Kim, number 35.
Giving Ryan Kim an opportunity with a runner on second and less than 2 outs. Looking for the Riptide's first run and their first hit of the ball game. He takes a strike.
Definitely a cross up there.
Yeah. Cross up between the catcher Landon West and Orozco as West went down to block that pitch and ended up a called strike going off his chest protector. So they're going to go out there, make sure they're on the same page. It's got to be different for them. I'm sure a lot of these guys have been using pitch comm at their respective schools, now coming back to summer ball with the old-fashioned hand signs.
And it's definitely the first time these two are working together. Obviously, a lot of new faces to these Oaks. West and this pitcher, both new, so trying to get that chemistry going, but also the cross-ups. It's bound to happen. You don't want it to happen, but when it does, perfect thing what West did. Go out and talk to him, try to get on the same page and move forward with the at-bat.
Well, and that's the other thing with summer ball. These pitchers and catchers are so unfamiliar with each other. They've never been around each other. And a lot of times, the first time they're catching a pitcher is in a live game. So they don't really have the ability to learn about different pitches and what pitchers like to throw until they see them in game action.
Especially if you think about different tendencies when catchers really get to know their pitchers. That could definitely be a disadvantage in summer ball. But it's like all teams are like that because they're not going to have guys who have a really good matchup, in the major leagues. They have personal catchers for specific pitchers who might not be the best hitters even, but they're always catching whenever you got your guy out there because they know each other, they know how to navigate around each other, and they know what is going to work best to get hitters out.
1-2 from Orozco, swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Daniel Orozco.
Now batting,
2 away with Rocco Gump coming up. A chance to tie up this ball game. Kadena led off with the walk before Reese sacrificed him over. And Coach Dave Solis is heading out to the mound for a visit right now. Usually that means that he's going to be pulling the pitcher, but there hasn't been any action in the Oaks bullpen.
I'm thinking perhaps just either to kind of make another scouting report, or the other thing I could have thought about, it's clearly not because he's leaving an injury concern, but you would have expected a trainer to come out too. But kind of unusual to see that in a game when it's not the pitching coach going out just to perhaps talk to both players.
We also aren't entirely sure who the pitching coach is because coach Scott Radinsky, who's been a mainstay with the Oaks, is overseas coaching in Europe. So I'm actually not entirely sure who's calling the pitches. That could have been just pitching coach Dave, not head coach Dave. We'll try to find that out after the game. Either way, Rocco Gump up there representing the go-ahead run with a tying run on second in Nathan Cadena. Orozco trying to navigate through his second scoreless inning of this one. Nobody warming up in the Oaks bullpen. Throws a breaking ball and gets a swing and a miss. And we've seen, as this game has progressed in these big situations, the catcher Landon West really letting his pitchers know when he feels like they've made a good pitch or telling them to settle down. But you can tell he's really amped and really locked into this one.
And that's the second side of catching. It's the coaching side that people overlook. Right there we saw they caught on doubled up on that off-speed pitch. As you saw the pitch before, he was nowhere near it. But going back to that same spot, he didn't bite, but Wes reaffirming him, pumping his glove out there and saying, hey, you hit that spot. I love it. Let's continue to execute.
It's 2-1 to Rocco Gump. Tying run, Cadena at second base. That one's hit through the left side for the first hit of the game. The throw comes home from Joseph. It's up the line, and the Riptide have tied this one up. A 2-out single by Rocco Gump through the 5-6 hole not only gives the Riptide their first hit of this ball game, but also their first run and evens up the score here in the 6th inning.
And still nobody throwing in the bullpen. There is a player getting some arm circles in, but I believe Coach Solis would like this to be his inning to finish.
Gump was able to advance to second on the throw home, which means the go-ahead run is now in scoring position for Matthew Flaherty. Well, the Oaks' combined no-hit bid lasted 5 2/3. Before Gump single to left, broke that up and the shutout as that one's driven out to right field down the line. This is going to be a tough play for Kendlinger, who makes the catch just inside the right field line, saving a potential go-ahead double and keeping this one tied as we head to the final 3 innings of this one. It's a brand new ball game, 1-1 as we head to the 7th. Tanner Beltowski will lead things off for the Oaks in this 7th inning. The Oaks have led 1-0 since the 3rd inning of this one, but the Riptide picking up their first hit and first run on the same swing. on a single by Rocco Gump this past half inning, evening up the score at 1. The first pitch of the 7th inning drills Beltowski. Couldn't feel good. Fastball coming in from McGuire. Beltowski gives the Oaks a leadoff base runner here in the 7th.
Number 32, Jaden Mingus.
That brings up the second baseman, Jaden Mingus, who's looking to turn his day around. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts up to this point. A couple of looking strikeouts. There goes Beltowski on the first pitch. The throw down is in time to get him. Looked like a hit and run that Mingus swung through, and a perfect throw from Wilkinson to nail Beltowski. And just like that, the leadoff base runner for the Oaks is erased with the caught stealing. So that one's hit down the third base line. Diving stop by Gump. Throws two-hopper across that is unable to be handled by Reese and gets by him, which allows Jordan Mingus to get to second and brings up Tai Walton.
Tai Walton.
So we say single and an error, Max?
I'd say so. The throw might have beat him, but it was just such a hard hit ball and difficult play that that's just hard to complete. But great effort by the third baseman right there.
Yeah, he threw a two-hopper across the diamond, and it looked like it was definitely catchable for Reese, but he was just unable to handle it. And now the Oaks have a runner in scoring position with one out. Tai Walton up there. Walton fouls the first pitch straight back. He popped up and struck out today in a couple of at-bats. Looking to drive something in the outfield here. Give the Oaks a late lead. So that one's in the dirt. Nice stop back there from Wilkinson. Back pick over to second, and it goes into center field. Headed over to third is Mingus. As McGuire's pickoff attempt to second just sailed on him and went into center field.
Now 2 miscues. The Oaks got to take advantage of this. 90 feet away from the lead. Just got to pop something in the air for at least a sac fly, but a big gap down the left field line.
The Riptide are going to bring the infield in. Walton looking for something up that he can drive. 1-1 game here in the 7th. 1-1 count. Pitch to Walton misses away. With first base open here, they don't have to give him anything too good to hit. Can definitely pitch carefully, even with the top of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, put on first. There's a forced play for the double play in the middle of the infield, but you do have Austin Carrillo, the leadoff man, coming up. Something to take into account.
That one just misses away and maybe down as well. 3-1 the count to Walton.
Definitely wouldn't be surprised if he tries to pitch around him for that double play ball.
Walton will be looking for one spot and one spot only in this situation. The 3-1 pitch. Foul back. 3-2. Really big pitch coming from Tommy McGuire.
Straight challenge right there on 3-2. We'll see if he does it again with another fastball. That'll be interesting to see, but he has not thrown a off-speed pitch in a bit.
McGuire looking for a strikeout. Walton looking to untie this game. The 3-2 pitch. Misses downstairs. That puts runners at the corners and one away for the leadoff man, Austin Carrillo.
And this is where that mindset's going to have to come in that we talked about earlier today, me and Austin. Austin obviously getting on base quite a bit, but still looking for that first hit. 0 for to begin the season, but if there's anybody more even-keeled on the field, I don't know if I've heard of him, because he's the most even-keeled player you can think of, whether things are going well or things aren't. He's just trying to do what he has. He's following his approach, just trying to drive the ball up the middle and just help pass it to the next guy and have an unselfish at-bat.
And in this situation, he doesn't even need a hit to come through for the Oaks right now. Just a sac fly, lifting the ball to the outfield will do the job. As the pitching coach for the Riptide has brought the infield together out on the mound. Nobody warming up for OC, so it will be Tommy McGuire to finish the inning, but lengthy discussion with the pitching coach. They're talking about, I'm sure, first and third defense, whether or not to throw through or not in this situation. It's always tricky.
Absolutely. And Carrillo, 2 groundouts already to his name today, so definitely a double play candidate for the Oaks. So wanting to just lift something at all if he can. Obviously a base hit's what you're looking for, but that sac fly is still in play.
And he pops one up on the infield, just in front of home plate. Making the catch is the catcher Wilkinson for a massive out number 2. It's got to be really frustrating for Carrillo. Went up there aggressive, looking to drive something, and the first pitch, he pops up.
And that's something we haven't been seeing today. These Oaks at bats, yes, just 1 run. Credit the OC Riptide pitching, but they have been patient trying to find their pitch. You know, I'm not sure about the exact location as we cannot see it, but you got to think in that situation you want to try to get your pitch and see some more.
Now a 2-out RBI chance for Tommy Kendlinger, who's already had a very solid day at the plate. A couple of base knocks and scoring the only run of the game for the Oaks.
And both the knocks coming with 2 outs. Let's see if he does it again.
He's been out there with 2 outs and nobody on his last 2 at-bats. A couple of singles. He's now up there with the runners at the corners and 2 away, with the chance to give the Oaks a 2-1 lead in this one. Mingus at third, Walton at first. 2-0 the count to Tommy Kendlinger. Who takes one up, 3-0. The dangerous Will Joseph waits on deck. Between Kendlinger and Joseph, they have 4 of the 6 hits today for the Oaks.
We'll see if he goes green light, but as you mentioned, a huge hitter on deck.
No green light, as that one's in there on the corner, 3-1.
Still a huge hitter's count here. We're going to want to see if he challenges with the fastball. He tries to stay with that outside off-speed pitch that the umpire has been calling consistently all day long. Regardless, it's going to have to be a pitcher's pitch.
His 3-1 delivery is a pitcher's pitch, perfectly located on the outside corner to run the count full.
Kendlinger asking the home plate umpire about that one. I don't think he agreed with the call.
Walton will be on the move on this pitch. Joseph waits on deck. The 3-2 pitch coming to Tommy Kendlinger. The breaking ball that misses inside. The bases are full of Oaks. 2 away. Will Joseph stepping in. He's driven in the only Oaks run so far today on a double down the right field line. He'll look to repeat that, and by doing so, he'd clear the bases. But just a single will do. First pitch coming in from McGuire. He's in the dirt. It's a big stop back there from Wilkinson. Of course, as we know in these situations, has to be a brick wall back there.
Catcher's run saved.
Indeed. a very big backstop as well. Anything that gets by, scoring a run easily. McGuire looking to get out of the bases loaded jam. And he gets Joseph to chase. Swings at a breaking ball below the zone. Joseph coming off a massive year in which he hit 360. He's already started the summer hot. The check swings that one back up the middle. Easy play to just step on the bag there for the shortstop Flaherty. And Tommy McGuire is able to get out of a bases loaded jam as the Oaks strand 3 runners on the bases. As this game remains tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Number 28.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Still Daniel Roscoe on the mound. He's already pitched 2 scoreless. He's actually given up a run. He's already pitched 2 innings, I should say. Gave 1 run in the 6th. The tying run on a 2-out single by Rocco Gump. Up to that point, the Oaks had been leading 1-0 for the majority of this one before Gump was able to deliver with 2 outs. As this one is popped up on the infield. Hit a mile high and eventually coming down into the glove of Brandon Anderson for out number 1.
Now batting for your Riptide, number 11, Brandon West.
Tommy McGuire did a great job for the Riptide in the top half of this inning. Got himself into a 1st and 3rd 1-out jam. Austin Carrillo popped up. And then after walking Tommy Kendlinger, he was able to get Will Joseph to ground out with the bases loaded to end the inning. Showing bunt and pulling back is the catcher Wilkinson. You don't usually expect catchers to have wheels. Could have been a fake bunt, or he could just be a pretty quick catcher.
You can see Anderson at 3rd kind of creeping in again just in case. Definitely don't want to give up any runners.
Fastball misses upstairs. 2-0 the count. Roscoe had a 1-2-3 5th before running into some trouble in the 6th. The Oaks do have a left-hander warming up in their bullpen. That one's driven out to deep left field. Going back on it is Joseph. Looking up, and it is gone. Brendan Wilkinson with a 1-out home run here in the 7th inning to give the Riptide their first lead of the game and their first lead of the summer. He absolutely drilled that ball out to left field.
Got the hands extended, got the bat head out in front, and pretty much no doubter off the bat of Wilkinson.
Yeah, he certainly knew it off the bat, walking out of the box. That brings up the 9-hitter Jackson Kemmer, who's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and an infield pop-up for Jackson. He fouls that one back. That was a good hack from Kemmer.
And if you're a Roscoe, you just got to flush it. Good job by him to be able to jump out ahead early, but always tough after giving up the home run. You just got to flush it. It's a new batter and continue to execute your pitches.
It's always a tough mental hurdle for a pitcher after giving up a home run, making sure you come back. One to Kemmer. Fouls it back. 1-2. It's a very big summer for Jackson. After redshirting his freshman year, looking to really develop his game a lot this summer. The coaches at Nevada have talked about how much they've seen improve from August to the season ending in May. Now he's got a couple more months to improve before heading back up to Reno in the fall. 1-2 to Kemmer. Misses away. And you also have to remember, for not just Kemmer, but all these guys that have redshirted this past year, they probably haven't seen live pitching in months.
Absolutely. Obviously, practice is one thing, but once you get into the real game, that's something else. There's the emotions, the mental aspect that you don't really get during those live ABs when you are facing an arm.
Kemmer tries to spoil this one. Breaking ball hits it to the right side and just out of play. Able to keep his at-bat alive. The Oaks do still have that left-hander warming up. Looking like he's ready to go for whenever Coach Salifs gives the call. This game has really turned around, though. Oaks led 1-0 through 5 2/3 of this one. They were 1 out away from getting through 6 up 1-0, and now they're down 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. As Kemmer fouls off a pitch, I actually think it hit him and he swung.
I don't think he made contact. Shouldn't that be a strikeout?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that should be strike 3. I believe.
Well, the umpire's signaling somehow, but
yeah, they are sending Kemmer back to the dugout, as he did swing at a pitch that hit him.
Wow, that was odd, because usually that only happens on the other side matchup with like a slider or something going in. But just drilled him in the arm and he went around. A full swing, though, I might add.
Yeah, and the coach for the Riptide is just coming to have a quick conversation with the home plate umpire.
Well, what was weird is that he originally signaled foul ball, but I think nobody had a doubt. Like, you can't hear it, at least from our Brandon's point up here off to the right, not even in the press box. It clearly hit him on the left arm or toward the bicep.
I just saw him, actually. One of his teammates asked him, and he pointed. It looked like his right forearm.
Huh.
But, yeah, it's clearly got him. That's just so brutal to strike out. You get hit by the pitch, so it hurts, but you don't even get to 90 feet.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Kemmer. But Orozco will take the strikeout, and that brings up the top of the lineup in Matthew Thomas. Thomas is 0 for 2 with a walk today. A couple of strikeouts as well. There's a breaking ball. Hit it on the right side, drifting out of play. Over to the little kids by the Oaks dugout. One and one the count to Thomas. Takes one way outside. One run on 6 hits for the Oaks. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Riptide. The Oaks have left at least 1 runner on base in every single inning except for the 6th. That one's driven out to left center field. That's going to split the gap. That's going to roll up against the wall. Thomas is rounding second. He'll head for third. The relay is not even going to come in, and it's a 2-out triple for Matthew Thomas.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication out there in left center between Carrillo and Joseph that allowed Thomas to take that turn around the back. He was looking out there to see any reason to continue running, and it looked like for a second they were kind of looking at each other as that ball was in between both fielders, not sure who to go to, as we're going to have a pitching change here. But that cost an extra 90 feet, and 90 feet closer to a 2-run lead for the Riptide.
Daniel Orozco's day is done. It'll be Sam Hentage coming in, so we'll be right back. The new pitcher for the Oaks is the left-hander Sam Henches, not to be confused by the Major League pitcher Sam Henches, but they are both left-handed relievers. This Sam goes to the Air Force Academy, where he appeared in 19 games this spring. Pitched 16 innings, struck out 14 batters as he gives up a first pitch RBI single off the bat of Nathan Cadena. So he hit that one quite sharply, right back up the middle for a base hit.
Now batting for your Riptide, number 1, Ace Reese.
Well, the Riptide do a great job here with nobody on 2 outs of manufacturing a run with a 2-out triple off the bat of Thomas, and then Cadena hitting the ball right back where it came from to give the Riptide a 3-1 lead. And it really did, even though the Oaks were only up 1-0, it kind of felt like they were in control of this one. They were doing great offensively. Riptide haven't been doing much, but the Oaks kept stranding base runners, and it just stayed a 1-run ball game before eventually the Riptide took the lead.
Just for so long, the Riptide without any hits, really no execution on offense. It felt like, as you mentioned, that this game wasn't even close.
The Oaks have left 8 guys on base through 7 innings in this one, which is obviously a huge factor as to why OC is taking the lead in this one. Hench is ready for his 1-1 delivery. Runner goes. And West couldn't get it out of his glove as Cadena takes second. It's the first baseman, Ace Reese, up there, who's struck out, walked, and had a sacrifice bunt. So 3 plate appearances, but just 1 at bat up to this point for Ace Reese, which was a strikeout back in the first.
And a very good matchup right here for Henches with the left on left with Reese.
Hench is looking for a strikeout in this situation, has Reese 2-2. Throws a breaking ball that stays up a little too much. Reese fouls it back, and he's shaking his head, unhappy with himself that he missed that one. Still 2-2 to count to Ace Reese. It's a fastball that doesn't catch the corner. Misses outside. Count runs full. Three-two the count to Reese. There goes Cadena, and Reese goes down on strikes. Nice use of the slider there from Henches. But the Riptide are able to get 2 here in the 7th inning, and they lead 3-1 as we head to the 8th. Oaks just 6 outs to work with offensively. Top of the 8th inning here. Oaks trailing this one 3-1. Tommy McGuire back out there for his 3rd inning work. He's pitched a scoreless 6th and a scoreless 7th. In the 7th straining, the bases loaded. Just some light tossing in the Riptide bullpen, but they clearly trust McGuire to go multiple innings. He'll be facing 4-5-6 on this Oaks lineup. Brandon Anderson to lead things off. Anderson 0 for 3 up to this point with 3 groundouts. He'll look to give the Oaks a leadoff base runner, who now find themselves 6 outs away from their first loss of this summer. After leading 1-0 through 5.5. This game has turned on them with the Riptide scoring 3 in the last 2 innings, giving them a 3-1 lead heading in the final 2 innings of this one.
In a lot of these innings, the Oaks not getting leadoff runners, it's huge for them to start and get the tone started early.
And the Oaks have stranded a base runner in every single inning besides the 6th. The 6th inning was the only 1-2-3 inning for the Oaks offense. Two and two the count to Anderson, who takes a breaking ball in the dirt. And he's able to work the count full. Looking for a leadoff base runner right now. The catcher Landon West waiting on deck. Guire ready to go. It's payoff pitch. It's hit sharply over to second base. Cadena backs up a step, sets his feet, and throws Anderson out for the first out. Landon West steps in now. 0 for 3 in this one. The middle part of the Oaks order today has been very quiet. 4, 5, 6 is a 0 for up to this point. Gotten a lot of the hits from the top third and the bottom third. Gotten all the hits from the top third and bottom third of the lineup today. As West swings through the first pitch from McGuire.
Just a bloop and a blast, and we're tied.
Even though they've put together some good at-bats, it's been hard for the Oaks to muster up multiple hits in a row in this one. Hence them leaving 8 men on base. They've only gotten the leadoff man on in the first inning and the 7th, both on hit by pitches. That 0-2 pitch to West misses away. Looking to keep winning some pitches right now is Landon West. McGuire's 1-2. The breaking ball fouled into the Riptide dugout. It's actually hard to foul it directly into the dugout as they have a huge net protecting the players. The only openings in these two dugouts are at either railing, at either steps for the players to run out. But other than that, these dugouts are nearly completely covered for the players' safety, of course. 1-2 pitch to West. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Even though it's a 3-1 game, kind of like when the Oaks were up, it still feels like a very far away game for the Oaks. Obviously, it is getting a little bit late, and the offense really hasn't showed up except for that one inning with the 2-hour alley where Will Joseph doubled home Kendlinger. But still, anything goes.
So that one's line foul. Yeah, that third inning where the Oaks were able to pick up a run is the only inning this game where they've strung multiple hits together in the same inning. That was the 2-out single from Kendlinger and the double from Joseph. And that double is their only extra base hit of the day as well. 5 singles. Take that back. Actually, Tanner Beltowski also doubled to left. He was stranded on second. That fastball misses down. Excellent at-bat so far from Landon West. He's already seen 8 pitches.
We've seen that being called today. That probably was down, but that part of the plate, the outer half, that's definitely been called a lot. So the pitcher a little bit frustrated with the lack of consistency right there. But hopefully West can capitalize.
West fouls off another. He's also been behind the plate for this whole game, Landon West, so he knows exactly what the strike zone's like. So the fact that he took that pitch really makes me believe that it was out of the strike zone.
That's a good point.
He fell behind 0-2 in this at-bat, and he's now worked it full. 10th pitch of this plate appearance coming to Landon West. And it's popped up on the infield. Cadena calls everyone off. He makes the catch for the second out of this 8th inning. Just with how long these first couple of plate appearances have been for the Oaks in this 8th inning. In the 7th, where the Oaks stranded the bases loaded, they forced McGuire to throw 17 pitches. Between these two batters only in this 8th inning, they've already seen 16. Nobody on and 2 outs for the shortstop, Jordan Kang. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Flew out to left on a broken bat pop out, and also lined out to second. He takes a breaking ball that catches the zone. Kang out of the Ivy League, Harvard University. Had a decent spring. Looking to have a big summer for the Oaks. 1-1's in there for a strike. 1-2.
Kane kind of collecting himself right now. The Oaks definitely getting deep into counts. Still just a 1-2 count here, but as you mentioned, a lot of pitches they're seeing. You got to think that they're going to be able to string something together soon with the scouting report they're gathering from first-hand experience.
Yeah, you can't imagine that McGuire will be out there for too much longer if they keep seeing all these pitches. He's already gone 2 2/3. The Riptide do have someone up, and it's another opportunity. We've talked about how early on in this summer, you're not entirely sure what everyone's role is going to be, and this is a chance for the Riptide to figure out who could be their closer with a potential save situation coming up. King chases a 2-2 pitch. The Oaks have 3 outs left as we head to the bottom of the 8th with the Riptide leading 3-1.
Number 35, Ryan Tim.
Bottom of the 8th inning here. Oaks trail 3-1. Sam Henches back out there. He got the last out of the 7th inning. Nobody warming for the Oaks in the bullpen, so presumably Henches is out there to finish this inning. It's the designated hitter Ryan Kim up there, who takes a strike. Kim is 0 for 3 today with a pair of strikeouts. Henches looking to have a bounce back summer after a somewhat challenging spring. As this one is chopped slowly to Jordan Kang. It's going to be a tough play, and he makes it look easy. Thrown over to the new first baseman, Landon West, who moves over from catcher to first, with Will White entering the game behind the plate. The Oaks made the same substitution in yesterday's ballgame, just to get West a little break for a couple innings. Now the man who tied up this ballgame for the Riptide, Rocco Gump, steps up. He singled through the 5-6 hole. If he hit it in that spot again, Brandon Anderson would be right there. With the shift pretty drastic, having the third baseman Anderson playing where the traditional shortstop plays. The whole left side is open for Gump, the third base line. Oh, 0-2 the count to Rocco. It's a fastball that misses up and away. You have to wonder throughout his life how many times people said to Rocco Gump, you should be named Bubba. Because I'm sure that's something he heard a lot growing up.
Absolutely.
The 0-2 count to Gump. Is drilled to right field, and a nice sliding catch out there from Tommy Kendlinger.
Now batting for the Riptide, number 2.
Oaks showing case in the defense. The very nice play at short, and then they're right there, flashing the leather in right field for Kendlinger.
It was a good swing off the bat of Gump. But Kendlinger got a beat on it, makes the catch. Brings up Matthew Flaherty with nobody on and 2 outs. And the OC Riptide superfan is showing some love to the Oaks, chanting, what a catch. It was a great catch by Tommy Kendlinger. The crowd has dimmed just a little bit. It seemed like there was an entire Little League behind home plate before the game, and now it's just a handful of kids. Still a beautiful night here in Orange County.
Absolutely. Perfect time, perfect day for baseball, I'd say.
Yes, indeed. Should be a much quicker bus ride back than it was getting here.
Absolutely. A lot of traffic we hit on the way up.
Oh, that's a great play by Henches. Showing off the reflexes on a comebacker. Flipping over to first to end the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. Riptide lead 3-1. 7-8-9 coming up for the Oaks in their last chance. We've reached the top of the 9th inning in this one. Riptide lead the Oaks 3-1. Tommy McGuire is back out there. He's already gone 3 scoreless innings, thrown 51 pitches in those 3 innings. He's looking for a 4th, pick up the win not only for his team, but for himself as well. And this is going to be a new hitter. It was the catcher in the previous inning, Will White. White played in 37 games this spring at LA Valley College, hitting over 300, 6 home runs. The Oaks just need a base runner right now in this situation. Counts 1-1 on White.
As I mentioned in the last inning, we're still blooping a blast away. Close game, but 2 swings could change everything.
And 1 base runner here gets the Oaks to the top of the lineup as well. Another swing and a miss from White. White struck out 37 times this spring at LA Valley College. McGuire's 1-2 is another breaking ball. Same result as White goes down swinging. And that'll bring up Jaden Mingus. Mingus struck out looking in each of his first 2 plate appearances before reaching on a single last time he was up. It could have been a double as it was headed for the left field corner, but the third baseman Gump made a diving stop, threw over, couldn't get Mingus as it got by the first baseman. But it was a great stop by Gump, keeping Mingus from a double to a single, although he ended up getting to second on the throw anyway. Oaks just need a base runner. As that one's in there for a strike, 0-2. Tommy McGuire is as locked in as ever. Other than the 7th inning where he walked a couple guys and got into a jam, it's been nothing for the Oaks against McGuire. That one misses in the dirt. McGuire had a 1-2-3 6th, a 1-2-3 8th, and was able to get out of a bases loaded jam in the 7th. He's retired the last 5 batters that he's faced. So that one misses upstairs. 2-2.
Doubled up on the breaking ball there.
Two on its way to Mingus. Check swing. Home plate umpire says he went around. That is out number 2. The Riptide are 1 out away from a season-opening W. Standing in their way is the 9-hitter and designated hitter, Tai Walton. 0 for 2 at the plate today with a walk. The Oaks' last chance in this one. Leadoff hitter Austin Carrillo waits on deck. McGuire's first pitch is hit hard but foul into the left field corner. And that's going to cause a holdup in play as it's in fair territory all the way down the left field line. So we're just waiting on a Riptide player to retrieve the ball. The long run. Ball has been retrieved. Play has been resumed. 0-1 the count to Tai Walton. The Oaks' last chance at the plate. Takes one outside. Riptide certainly trust Tommy McGuire. Already his 4th inning of work and still nobody up in their pen.
His game to finish for sure, at least in the eyes of the Riptide.
That one misses down. 2-1. McGuire's already made a statement performance, going 3 2/3 scoreless innings out of relief up to this point. One more out gives the Riptide their first win of the season. 2-1 to Walton. He's hit on the ground to shortstop. Flaherty is there, sets his feet, fires across, and the Riptide win Game 1 of this CCL season. It was a tough one for the Oaks in this one, as they went up 1-0 in the 3rd, but they were held scoreless in every other inning of this contest. It was still a 1-run game until the 6th inning before the Riptide got on the board on an RBI single by Rocco Gump before taking the lead on a Brendan Wilkinson home run and getting some insurance from Nathan Cadena on a single, giving the Riptide a 3-1 win. 1 run on 6 hits and an error for the Oaks, 3 runs on 4 hits and an error for the Riptide. The Oaks resume CCL play tomorrow night, taking on the Arroyo Seco Saints down in Pasadena. First pitch for that one will be at 6 p.m. For all of us here with Conejo Oaks, Max Schwartzberg, I'm Josh Mechanick. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.